Excellent. What's up, everybody? I'm super glad everybody's here. I'm excited about this here meeting, Champs Club. Put your finger on your nose if you can hear me. Put your finger on your nose if you can hear me. On your nose, Eric, not in your nose. Come on, man. Jeez. All right. Good morning, Marlo. What's up, Alka, Holden, Emma? What's up? Good to see you. Kimball, Mikhail, Ellie, Jaden, Tucker. I think that's everybody. It's good to see Patrick and Shay. I'm ready for an awesome Champs Club. I hope you're excited about an awesome Champs Club. I want to do some quick, and good morning, Kenzie. Kenzie's like, I've been busting out on the core workout today. I'm going to be jogging on Champs Club. I'll give it to you, Ellie, or Kenzie. I'll give it to you. That's awesome. So you can turn off your video in this case. I know you're focused and you can't be looking at your video. But hey, guys, as long as you're here, we do want to see you on Champs Club on video whenever you can. But if you're at the gym, we get it. They call it NET. Write it down. NET. NET. No extra time. No extra time. Right. So I love it that when someone packs their schedule and they're like, I got no extra time, so I am going to go on the treadmill while I'm listening to this meeting, at least on Champs Club. It's only 30 minutes. You're always going to learn. And when you have the ability to take notes, you will usually get more out of it when you do take notes. But hey, Kenzie's been listening to Champs Club for weeks now, and I respect that, and I think it's awesome. And so, thank you for being present here. Either way, no matter what, all of you, thank you for being here. And I'm just trying to get my displays to show up the right way. For some reason, they're not showing up, and I'm a little bitter. Okay, I'm a little bitter. I'm just trying to make it in this world. Boy, oh boy. I'll do it this way. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pause the recording. I want to do some quick recognition on sales this weekend, and we're gonna do just a little bit. Okay, so I won't take too long. I also want to recognize some people for sales and for signing up for the conference, which is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. We got a lot of people that just signed up for the conference. So let's go with total CPOs. Bam, bam. All right, let's do this. I'm going to pause the recording, resume recording. I want to go ahead and start with sharing goals. Give me 5 fingers, or give me 4 fingers and a thumb. Give me 4 fingers and a thumb. All right. I want to talk about the 5 ways I shared my goals as a rep. And these are still the 5 ways you should share your goals as a rep. Okay. So let's start off with, if you ever, when it comes to phoning, if you ever have a situation where it's not important and not urgent, it's because you haven't shared your goals on the phone. Hey, Phil, I just talked to 3 people on the phone and 0 booked with me. Guys, write this down. You should book 50% or more of the humans you speak to. You should book 50% or more. That doesn't mean the other 50% say no. In fact, it should be less than 10%. If you talk to 10 people, at least 9 of them should book with you eventually, and 5 of them should book with you on that phone call. 1 out of 10, maybe 1 out of 20 should say, not in a box, not with a fox. I will not do a demo. I do not like green eggs and ham. No way, Jose. Right? If you get anything worse than 1 out of 10, meaning more than 1 out of 10 or more than 1 out of 20 even, then you're still doing something wrong. So it's just like, here's a gauge to gauge my skill by. If I get more than 1 out of 20, I need to talk to my manager. If I get more than 1 out of 20 that say, no way, I will not do a demo. So then you talk to 19 people, nod your head if you understand the idea. You talk to 19, you should book 10 on the first call. You should book 10 on the first call. Okay. So if you're not booking 10 out of 20 or 10 out of 19, then it's skills, right? And that's okay. It is what it is. So if we take just a moment, I'll pull up the other. I want to look at the other interweb right in front of me instead of looking across on my extra display here. Oh, I hate when this happens. Okay, can you see this, guys? You see the web PDIs? Okay, so let's go to the script on phoning, right? So I'm gonna click on phoning, and so we're on here, and I want to bring up the idea of both urgency and importance. And I think I covered it sometime in advanced training or something yesterday. If the appointment is urgent but not important, you'll book it immediately, Eric, but they'll forget you and they'll ditch you. Does everyone remember that? Part of the ways to not get ditched, nod your head if you want to not get ditched. If you want to not get ditched, F you. You have to firm up. You have to firm up. If you want to not get ditched, you have to firm up, right? Or I'm going to come across the Zoom and slap you in the face. Why would you book it if you're going to get ditched? Why would I take the time to book it if I'm going to get ditched, right? So you have to overthink them. Write it down. Overthink them. So great is almost a thank you right there. But then you say, thanks a ton. This means a lot to me. That's almost 2 more thank yous. And then you say, thanks so much for helping me. I'm really looking forward. They're like, you're really looking forward to seeing me in my kitchen. You're really, Phil, like you don't want to go watch a movie, hang out with your girlfriend, boyfriend. You're really looking forward to seeing me, whatever. But when you say that, it's almost like, dude, calm down. It's just a demo. And it may not mean a lot to you, but it means the world to me. So thank you so much. And again, thanks again. I thank them by word, it's every single line right here. Every single line is a thank you, and there's a thank you here. There's 4, literally the word thank you or thanks 4 times in what, 6 bullet points? Gee, I wonder if I should follow that program. Right? And then when you say things that means a lot to me, it may not lead a lot to you, but it means the world to me. This really means a lot to me. That makes it important. You don't get ditched. Nod your head violently if you say, thank you, Phil. I thank you. I need to not get ditched. Okay. That's the urgent, not important. Flip it and go important, not urgent. When it's important, Eric, but not urgent, they say, call me later, call me later. I think I covered it yesterday on Champs Club. Callbacks suck, right? Callbacks suck for you because you have to call them back and you feel like you're nagging. It's worse for them. When you do callbacks, they see the phone ringing and then they don't answer it on purpose, not because they're being mean, not because they don't want to help you. They don't answer because they're like, oh man, I feel so bad that I'm just as busy as I was the first time Eric called me, and I'm the same busy. And so I feel bad, and I haven't set up my life to allow for a Cutco demo, like anyone ever does that, right? But they're like, I haven't set up my life to allow for a Cutco demo. So now I'm going to screen the call knowing his phone number because he called me yesterday. I know it's Eric, or I know it's Kenzie, or I know it's Zealand, right? And they screen the call because it's not because they don't like you. It's not because they don't want to help you. It's because they feel guilty. It's they feel guilty. Well, you made them feel guilty by calling them back, right? Callbacks suck. So the first thing you can do, give me 5 fingers. The first way we share our goals is in the phone approach. You must have it built into your phone approach where you literally word for word these 5 bullet points. By the way, if you're calling people you sort of know, you shouldn't yet. You shouldn't. You should not call people you even sort of know. I did though, and you can, but I'm going to tell you guys, you want to be calling, go back. You want to be calling in order, first reschedules, then callbacks, then initial list, then people you sort of know that are like, I know their mom, I know their son, I know their daughter, my classmates, my mission companions, parents. I'm telling you, if anyone went on a mission with my son or daughter and they called me and asked me if they can do a demo, they wanted to sleep at my house, I'd say yes. They could literally say, I need a place to stay. I've never met you, but I need a place to stay. I'd say yes. If you went on a mission to Zimbabwe with my son or daughter, I'd be like, for sure. You're on the swim team with my son or daughter, I'd be like, come on over, sleep over. Don't bring any sleeping bags. I got all the sheets. I got all the beds. I got the pillows. I got the food. I got everything for you. I'm going to say yes. And you're worried about asking them for a demo? Come on, right? You run the same DECA team with my son or daughter. I'm going to say yes. That's the first, that's 150 people. So, but if you're not sharing your goals, let me go back to this. After you say, I need this many demos by this day, everyone writes 72 hours and then put a less than sign in front of it. 72 hours or less than 72 hours. Do not book a demo more than 72 hours out. I would even say 48 hours. If it's on Tuesday morning, I would only be booking for today and tomorrow. And so I got to be very urgent, Eric, and say, I need this many demos by tomorrow night. I need this many demos by tomorrow night. If I'm Holden, I'm trying to hit 10K before Wednesday night, I'm going to say this many demos by tomorrow night. If I'm Marlo and I want to get my 6K pay raise by tomorrow night, I'm going to say I need this many demos by tomorrow night. Nothing more than tomorrow, today and tomorrow. If you absolutely have to, someone might say, I really can't do it by Wednesday night. Then I book it for Thursday, and that's 72 hours. Does everyone understand that's less than 72 hours? But if you don't share your goals right there, and then you always offer, give me 2 fingers, you always offer what? 2 choices at times, every time. Now, that's the first of 5. Give me 5 fingers one more time. That's the first. The second, look at me, guys, is every single HQ. Every single HQ. What's HQ? Customer questions, right? Customer questions. When they say, oh, what's Cutco? It's blah, blah, blah. So would this time or this time be better? How many choices? 2 fingers, 2 choices. When they say, I already have Cutco, you say, great, you already have Cutco, blah, blah, blah. You still read it, but blah, blah. It almost doesn't matter what you say because you're always going to end with a Q. Everyone write this down, QAQ. QAQ. What's the Q? I already own Cutco. What's the Q? What is Cutco? What's the Q? I'm really busy. I got a lot going on. Any question or objection they give you, Kimball, is a Q. And then I say an A, which is an answer. I say this, Ms. Jones, I hope you like it. That's great. Awesome. Well, like I said, I'm doing it for the training, so I'd love to get your opinion and maybe some pointers. Plus, I get paid. I get paid. I get paid. I say that every single time. I get paid just to show it. But I always end with a Q. Remember the QAQ? The Q is, would this time or this time, 2 choices. Would 2:30 or 4 o'clock work for you? Would 6 or 8:30, 7:30 work for you? I offered 2 choices, right, Ethan? And then what is it for? I already have, this is the one you get the most, right? I got a lot going on. I got a lot going on. We're really busy. It's summer, it's June, it's July, it's August, September, October, November. You think they're not going to say they're busy in November? Do you think they're not going to say they're busy in September when their kids are starting school? Do you think they're not going to say they're busy in February and January when their kids are going back to school? They're going to say it every time. This is the one you get the most. What is it? It's QAQ. What was the Q, Mikhail? It was, I'm really busy. I got a lot going on. What's my A? My A is everything before the Q. I say, no problem. I'm really busy myself because, Eric, I really need to get 12 appointments by Thursday, 7 appointments by tomorrow night. I really want to make it, 7, 8, 9 appointments by Thursday. And I can keep it short. Is that a bad day or bad times? And they say, whatever. And then I say, well, great. So how about this day at this time or this day at this time? And I have the 2 choices made in my schedule, and I'm using the dollar signs that are in my schedule. Always offering a choice of 2 fingers, everybody, 2 fingers, always a choice of 2 choices, 2 times. And the same thing down here, QAQ. Oh, how long is it? That's the Q. I say, hey, the A is blah, blah, blah. I say, well, not too long at all. After my 35, 45 minutes, after that, it's up to you if you feed me. And then Q, which time would be better today at 6:30 or would 8 o'clock be better? Still 2 at QAQ, 2 choices. Okay, give me 2 fingers. Because I've now shown you 2 ways that I shared my goals. What were they, Jaden? It's in the original. Oh, by the way, if I scroll down here, I don't want you calling it acquaintances, but if you had to use a much wordier approach, oh, by the way, here's some Jedi Master how to handle objections on the phone. Notice it's the same thing. It's QAQ. Here's the Q, here's the A, and then I answer, and then I ask another, would 2 or 33 work? I'm busy. Here's the same thing. All right, here's the A, and then here's the Q with 2 choices at a time. Squeeze me in at this time or this time. Call me tomorrow. It's the same thing. Here's the Q, here's the A, and then I say, would this time or would this time work for you? It's the same dang thing every single time. Can you just say you did the demo? Can you just lie to your manager and tell him you did a demo? No, I'm not going to do that, Aunt Betty. So that's the Q. And I say, well, I'm not going to do that, but hey, here's the A, and then here's the Q. Does everyone understand? They say a question, I answer it, and then I ask for 2 more choices, 2 more choices, 2 more choices. Lastly, Eric, and again, I don't like this. I would not use this because it's too wordy. What I would do, rather than doing the acquaintance phone approach, is I would just use the original phone approach because I'm still new until I've sold 40 grand. Michael Boyd is at 36 grand. He's still a baby in Cutco. Okay. So I would just do a little more catching up. I don't know if you remember me, but I went to school with your daughter. I went to school with your daughter. I was on the swim team with your daughter. I went on a date with your son. I used to date your son. I used to date your daughter. Like, I'm telling you, they don't care. So you just do a little more. You may not remember me, but I'm actually Susie and Don's son. You know them from church. You know them from golf. You know them from pickleball league or whatever. And I say how they know me or how I know them or how I know of them. And then I say, well, the reason I'm calling is I just got a new job. So that's what I would really use. But if you really want to try that acquaintance phone approach, it's really wordy and it's not terrible, but it's just extra wordy. I'm gonna say it that way. All right, one more time, two fingers. Those are the two ways I share my goals on the phone. That's just the phone. Then there's 2 times I share it in the demo. Write this down. 2 times I share it in the demo, and then 1 time on referrals. Let me jump to the referrals just for a minute. Right. When I share my goals on referrals, I use the same phone approach or the same referral approach. It's the exact same. I read it every time on a virtual or on in-home demo. Until I have it memorized, I'm going to read this every time. When reps say, oh, I suck at getting referrals, nobody gives me referrals. I ask them for the referral approach and they're like, yeah, could you give me referrals? I say no, because you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to say no because you sound like a doofus, like you thought of asking for referrals in the very last minute. Why would I give you referrals when you're like on the spur of the moment, seemingly asking me for referrals? I'm going to say no. You look unprepared, right? That's why. And so when I read this word for word every time in person or on Zoom, and I read it, but I talk about my goals. You can sponsor me towards my goals, right? There's multiple times in this phone approach where I talk about sponsoring me towards my goals. You know, it helps me out. It's the most important part of my presentation. So I don't mind waiting. Oh, wait a minute, Phil. There's a part in the beginning of the demo. There's a part in the beginning of the demo where I share my goals and say, you can sponsor me, right? Miss Jones, at the end, there's going to be a way for you to sponsor me with reaching my goals. So thank you so much. When I get them to set up the Vector Impact app and I tell them they're going to help me hit my goals and that this saves time. It saves time. It makes it easier and it still helps me. It eliminates paperwork. It's easier and faster. And at the end, you can sponsor me towards my goals. And then what is that? It's when they do the recommendations and I share that they can sponsor me, be a single or double sponsor, but I don't use the sponsorship until after I get the initial list. First, I get my main list of referrals. And then after they're at 7 or 12 or 17, that's when I bumper up. Remember, the sponsorship is a bumper upper. If you didn't write that down in training, write it down. The sponsorship is a bumper upper. And one last thing about this, guys, when I pull out my workbook and I show them the referral sponsorship page, and they know that, you know, Susie, and I love having these names. That's why we write Susie twice. If she gave you 25 referrals, and I write grandma twice, and I write, you know, grandma twice, and then Nancy she was stingy. She only gave me 13, right? But everyone else gave me 25, and I write 25 twice and 23 twice or 223, whatever, 3,000 referrals. I don't know. And then, you know, but then they see Nancy only gave 13. How lame is that, right? And then Betty gave me 25 or, you know, 21, right? Betty 21, right? So I'm using the sponsorship page. And remember, it's social proof that I get referrals. Is everyone with me? But I shared my goals when? 2 times on the phone, Holden, and then 1 time on recos, and then 2 veces en la cita, in your demo, right? In the demo. So how do I share my goals in the demo? Boy, oh boy, if you don't know this. But I'm going to go quick. We have 7 minutes. Let me just give you the structure. Miss Jones, do you mind if I share my goals? So number 1 step is to get permission. And then I share my general goals. These are like, I want experience, resume, build my skills, learn, be a financial success. I don't want to be a financial burden. I want to get out of school debt-free. And then I share my specific Holden and everybody and Marlo and everybody who's at 3, 4, 5 grand in your fast start. You should be talking about 10K. You should be talking about 6K. Talk about your third pay raise, right? Whatever. And you share that after you're done with your fast start. You're going to share President's Club if you're a non-student or a student. And if you're really going to go hard, talk about the scholarships. I won 5 of them because I talked about it every demo, twice on the phone, once with recommendations, twice in the demo. Hold on, there's more, I promise. What I do is I share my goals And then obviously get them to download the app that shares a little bit more of your goals. And then you get into the demo. Nod your head. What I'm going to do right now, guys, is cry a little bit. Is I'm going to give you guys the 6 steps to sharing your goals effectively. What the frack paddywhack is going on here? What are you guys looking at right now? What do you guys see? Someone tell me, Shay, what do you see? Shay.
I see a screen with get permissions.
Sorry, what is it?
Just your screen that has all the, oh, now it's gone. Never mind.
All right, let me try this out real quick. I pulled it up and now I can't find the dang
You were
handout.
sharing the right thing. So
I can't, well, now, and I can't even hear you guys. Okay, well, who's this boomer on Zoom? My gosh. Okay, so I hate when you plug in at 14 different displays and the computer decides to not allow volume. Okay, Shay, what are we seeing right now? Nothing. But
yeah, right now nothing.
okay, what about this? If I do this,
Get permission, state.
yes. Okay, great. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna look at it on my main screen. Now we're good, guys. Okay, now we're good. All right, so the 6 keys to sharing goals. Okay, 6 keys to sharing goals. I want you to write them out, and then I'll give it to you on a handout in the chat box. But go ahead and write these out. Okay. The first thing I do, Holden, in my demo is just what the demo script says. Mrs. Mones, do you mind if I share my goals? When you get permission, they feel like they're in charge, and they are, right? And then you need to share a specific goal. You guys have heard in your motivational high school, whatever class, that you heard about SMART goals. Who's heard of SMART goals? Nod your head violently. Yes, SMART goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based, right? That's why the 10-day contest is so handy. That's why by the end of the month, by the end of the summer, this semester, sharing push periods are 14 days. Today's day 1 of SC1 push, right? And then, 17 days of the 17 days of the SC2 push, and there's other push periods, SLC push. We dominate that push period in September. So there's multiple push periods, excuses to succeed, but you need to share a specific goal. My goal is to sell $10,000 by tomorrow night, Holden, right? My goal is to sell $6,000 by tomorrow night. My goal, I'm in a 10-day contest. I want to hit my 10 grand pay raise by Sunday night, right? For those of you that are in your fast start, right? So you share that specific goal. And then I love these two. You share your nervousness. It's not fear. I actually wish the word fear didn't. Fear is like a saber-toothed tiger chasing you. Fear is like, there's a hurricane coming, right? That's fear. But when you share, I'm nervous about this. I've never done this before. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone completely, and I'm actually really nervous about it. When you share your nerves about anything, you become endearing and lovable and vulnerable, and people just want to kiss you. They want to hug you and support you. Nod your head if you can understand that. But you have to share that you're nervous. But then after you share you're nervous, you can't just say, I'm peeing my pants. I'm just so nervous. I don't know if I can do it. That's just weak and lame. So the fourth step is when you share, but I'm 100% committed to giving him my absolute best. I'm getting up early. I'm showing up to Champs Club Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., which is 4 hours before I'd like to wake up. But I'm showing up every single morning, going to these workshops. I've never done this before in my life, and I'm 100% committed to going after it all the way until the very last moment. Shay, if you could type the miracle equation in the chat box. It's extraordinary effort plus unwavering faith until the very last minute. If you want to write it down, guys, extraordinary effort and with unwavering faith until the very last minute. And I'm not kidding. Till Sunday night, Holden, Marlo, and everybody in your fast start, Ethan, if you're in your fast start, you go all the way to the very last minute, right? So I'm working all the way as hard as I can. And then step 2 and 3, you read these word for word. You read these word for word. Extraordinary effort plus unwavering faith, Shay, until the very last minute. Most of our managers have that 100% memorized, okay? That is absolutely important that you have that memorized. Extraordinary effort plus unwavering faith until the very last minute, okay? Now, I'm going to stick this in the chat box for you guys, the 6 steps to sharing your goals. Grab this thing and put it on your desktop. Put it in your downloads folder, whatever you got to do. I'm going to really quickly, we'll end like 3 minutes late on Champs Club because we started and I did all that recognition. So the 5th and 6th step, remember that 6 steps to sharing our goals. The 5th step, I literally read this word for word. Watch me, guys. Now, Betty, please don't feel like you have to buy something. Because when you talk about how fired up you are about your goal, Marlo, Tucker, you might like freak him out a little bit, Mikhail, right? You say, now, please don't feel like you have to buy something today just to help me out with my goal. Cutco is way too expensive to buy just to be nice. Look at me, guys. When I say Cutco's way too expensive, guess what the value of Cutco is now already? I haven't even started the demo yet. The value, they're like, it's gonna be like $5,000. Well, this is gonna be scary. It's way too expensive. It's knives. How could it possibly be that expensive, right? But we're building the value. I say it's way too expensive to buy just to be nice. However, most people I see absolutely love Cutco. And so when you see something you like today, which you will, Ellie, I say, but which you will, I would appreciate it if you would go ahead and get it, because everything you get today helps me towards my goals. And when I talk about my goals and I'm nervous about them and I'm committed to it, and I say, if you and when you see something you like, please, I appreciate if you go ahead and get it, right? Then they're like, okay, so you want me to buy. Everyone with me on that? It's okay to do that, especially when I already told them they don't have to buy. It's too expensive to buy just to be nice. But then the last step sets up recommendations so well. It's the setup. Do you guys remember in training, we talked about the setup and the ask for recommendations? This also helps close the sale, but let me read it. Ms. Jones, in fact, my goal today isn't really to sell you anything, because if you decide to get Cutco today, which most people do, right? Most of my customers do, and that's great. But honestly, my main goal, and this might sound kind of funny, but my most important goal is that you like me and you like Cutco, and you like me, because more than anything, I just want you to make sure that we enjoy our time together so that you feel good about recommending me to some of your friends and family. Just like Susie referred me to you, if she was a referral. If she's just your friend from your list, then you just say without that sentence. Now, that's really my favorite part of my presentation, Emily, because all of my appointments are from personal recommendations. So I get to meet a lot of really cool people. Now, don't worry about that now. We'll do that at the end, because I still need to make sure that you like me. And that you say that and they're like, oh my gosh, Ethan, I want you to date my daughter. She's only 14, but when you come home from your mission, please date my daughter. Like, like they're like so fired up about you, right? They think you're the cutest freaking guy or girl. But you have to share your goals. And the last way I share my goals is when I'm dropping down and we're on the verge and it's super close. They're thinking maybe homemaker, maybe not, maybe ultimate, maybe not, maybe the starter set, maybe not. I'll reinsert my goals. Miss Jones, look, I would love to earn your business today because it'll help me hit my goals. And I want you to get the best deal that you can get. So I promise you, when you place your order today, I'm going to give you the best deal, because you're going to scratch my back because I know you'd be scratching mine. Or I'm going to scratch your back because I know you'd be scratching mine. Does everyone understand that? So I'm going to give you the best deal I can because you're going to be helping me. And so I want to help you. And they're like, bless your heart. I'm writing you in my journal tonight. You're the cutest freaking thing I've ever seen in the last, I hate all my kids. You're way cuter than them. I'm joking, but they literally are like, I wish my kid was this confident, competent, and committed. They're just like, this kid is amazing. And if I'm going to buy anything, I want to buy from this kid, this guy, this person. So that's how I would share my goals the 5th time, is when they're right on that moment. If they're not anywhere near buying an ultimate set, I'm not going to share that on the ultimate set. If they're nowhere near buying a homemaker, I'm not going to share that goal on the homemaker. But when they're right at that starter set, when they're right at that 5-piece special or a galley set, I'm going to be like, look, this is the set for you guys. And look, I want to earn your business. I'm going to give you a great deal because you'll be helping me, but I want to help you and I want to give you the best deal because I want to earn your business today. That's the 5th way that I share my goals. Right on that moment. It's that little thing that helps them go, oh yeah, and you're the freaking coolest kid I've met in the last 2 weeks. You know what I mean? You got all dressed up and came to my house and you're doing this presentation and you're trying to win money for school and earn your own tuition and not be a financial burden on your parents because you told me about your goals. That's freaking cool. You're trying to sell 10 grand in this contest, 15 grand in the SC1 push. That's awesome. and they're inspired and they're like, take my money here. I can pay 1/5 today, right? Or I'll pay it all today. Guys, when you share your goals with passion, again, on the phone twice, regular phone approach, and then when you are handling the objections, the QAQ, and then I jump ahead to recommendations, sharing how that helps you sponsor them, sponsor you, and then in the beginning of the demo, and then when you're closing the sale. But sharing those 6 steps, grab that handout. I gotta shut off the Zoom here, but grab that handout. And I'll tell you, it is money in the bank. And remember, step 5 and 6 are the ones you read word for word. Step 1, 2, 3, 4 are pretty simple with your own personality. But step 5 and 6, you read them word for word, and they are just enamored by you. They think you're awesome. Okay, guys? Thank you for being here.